Whenever we have problems where we are unable to find the value of the angle, and this could be an angle or a value. Whenever we are unable to find the angle, or I'm sorry, value on the circle, for instance, if I'm trying to locate 1/2 on the, it's actually impossible for tangent. So that's the y value over the x. It is impossible to get y over x being 1/2 on the values we have written on our new. So whenever there's another thing we can do. We have to connect to our trig functions, our trig ratios that we set up using SOHCAHTOA on a right triangle. If SOHCAHTOA, and I'm thinking about tangents, you know that tangent always has your O value over your A value. So if I'm looking at this innermost parentheses, we always work inner to outer. The O side is my 1, and the A side is my 2. So what you do is you draw a right triangle. Now this has a positive 1 as the opposite side and a positive 2 as the adjacent side, meaning my adjacent side is theta, which theta is always on the origin. My adjacent side is positive, so I go a positive 2 on my x-axis. And the opposite side is 1, meaning I go a positive 1 for my y value, creating what is called the rectangle. This is my opposite side, this is my adjacent side, and of course this is my hypotenuse. So if I'm asking for the inverse tangent of 1/2, this whole thing should give me this angle theta. I don't really need to know what that theta is. I don't need to know what it is. Because all I'm now looking for is the sine of that theta. So I'm not needing to know what this angle is. All I now need to know is what sine value is for that angle, which we know sine is O over H. So we have our O value, it's 1. What are we missing? H. How can we solve for H? Yes, Pythagorean theorem. Now we're missing the hypotenuse. Whenever we're missing the hypotenuse, what you do is you take the square root of the 2 legs squared, add it together. So 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 1 plus 4 is 5. Can the square root of 5 be simplified at all? No. So this is our hypotenuse. And that's what I put as my, stop. That's what I put as my denominator. O over H is what sine is. 1 over the square root of 5. Now, can I read this like this? No, because I can't have a square in the denominator. So you multiply by the square root of 5 over the square root of 5. And you end up with the square root of 5 over 5. And that's what we input into that cell. So anytime you're, this is what you do. I'll do it again. Do it again. I know it's a bunch, but it's pretty straightforward. Let's do this one right here. Part B. This time we have, how do you rewrite it? It's inverse sine of negative 1/3. Can you, now first you should always check, can you find negative 1/3 as the y value on your, You can't. So you have to resort to drawing a triangle. Now we know sine is always O over H, and H is never negative. The hypotenuse is like the radius of the circle. I told you it's never negative. Instead, what takes the negative is the opposite. I guess I should have told that. What takes the negative is the cosine. So when I'm drawing my x and y axis, and I know my opposite side theta, which theta is on the origin, my opposite side is a -1. I'm instead going to be drawing a line downward as my opposite because it's a -1. And my hypotenuse is 3. So this is my O, this is my H, this is my theta, always on the origin. I am missing, if I'm trying to find cosine, I am missing the hypotenuse, not the hypotenuse, the adjacent. So sine, inverse sine of -1/3 will give me theta. Now I'm asking what is the cosine of theta? We know cosine is always A over H. However, I have my H, I am missing my A. What do we have to do to find my adjacent side? Pythagorean theorem again. This time we're missing a leg. Whenever we're missing a leg, what you do is the square root of the hypotenuse squared minus the legs. So here this is 9 minus 1. So it's a square root of 8. Can this be simplified? Is there a perfect square that goes into 8 as a factor? Oh boy, guys. We're almost done. Hurry, hurry, so we can finish this. What are the factors of 8? One of them, yes. 4 goes into 8. So we can split this into the square root of 4 times the square root of 2. The square root of 4 is 2. So this fully simplified is 2 square root 2. And that's my answer. Are there any questions? Again, I just did this recording, so hopefully if you are lost, you can rewatch this and figure it out. Again, if you still have questions, you can stay on and ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you on Thursday for our